Hi, and welcome to the Cannabis Show. I'm Chris, and we are up here in Edmonton for the Hempfest Expo. And how cool is this? Joining us on the Cannabis Show is the legendary Tommy Chong. Tommy, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Excellent, excellent. Now, thank you for joining us here at Natural Health Services up here at the Expo and such. Now, I want you to elaborate. Medicinal cannabis, how far has it come in your lifetime?
It's weird. It was made illegal the year I was born.
Yeah.
And I'm 70, I'll be 79. And now it's legal.
Now it's almost gone like reverse. Like, do you know what it was like before you were born? Like, did you ever get stories of like, oh yeah, it wasn't a big deal back then, or?
No, not really. But I had cannabis has always been around.
Yeah.
Even back then, it was used as a medicine.
And like for yourself, many of us, growing up, we were doing it recreational and such. When did you start to realize that cannabis was a lot more than just a recreational type of thing to do?
Right from the beginning.
Really, you just knew right away that this is more than...
Right from the beginning. Well, because, I was into bodybuilding before I got into smoking. And so I wasn't really doing much alcohol that much, A little bit, but not much. I was health conscious.
Yeah.
And then when I was afraid to smoke pot at first, but a guy gave me a Lenny Bruce record and a joint in Calgary.
Yeah,
It was in Calgary.
Cool.
And so I put the joint in my pocket. We lit up one of his joints, and I had a friend getting me high, so I wasn't worried about it. But I didn't smoke that much. And then that joint he gave me lasted about 2 months, almost 2 months.
Yeah.
Because I was just take a few tokes, and so I knew right from the beginning that
what they were telling us was silly in a way.
well, there was no they.
Oh, okay.
Actually, no one really knew what pot was in Calgary.
Oh, okay.
And so you could smoke it on the street if you got it.
Yeah.
The problem was that one joint, that was it.
Yeah.
There was
sharing.
no dealer to go to, no store where I could go buy more. That was it. You had to ration it. And so pot was an unknown in Calgary and Edmonton.
So for health benefits, you just kind of knew right away that
I knew.
this stuff
I
wasn't bad for you.
I knew it was good for you because it made me feel, it made me hungry, made me laugh, made me laugh uncontrollably.
Yeah.
And that's what I love more than anything.
And go to sleep and wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like a good laugh.
Yes, I do.
We know that for sure.
Yeah.
You've been fighting cancer yourself. Like I know you defeated cancer the first time. Now, what kind of cancer was that the first time around?
The first time, I didn't really defeat it. You never defeat it.
Okay.
But what I did, I held it in check. It was prostate cancer.
Yeah.
And because I was old as I am, the doctor said, don't mess with it, and you'll probably die of something else. But I went on the Dancing with the Stars program.
Yeah.
And I worked myself up a little bit too much physically.
Okay.
And I ended up getting rectal cancer.
Okay. Now, the first time around, I guess the prostate. Now, you did use cannabis, correct?
Yes.
Now, what did you use, and how did you use
Well,
it?
with the prostate, I really didn't know how to use it, So I was just doing oil, the Rick Simpson oil,
Okay, yeah.
Stuff. I did that.
Okay.
And then, so then I asked a doctor, how to treat prostate cancer.
Yeah.
And he told me rectal, with the suppositories.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I treated it with suppositories. I had a lot of fun with them.
Yeah.
Because I'd do interviews, and they'd ask me the same question. And then.
But people want to know, right?
I was on Access Hollywood, and Billy Bush, famous Billy Bush. He says, so how do you actually treat the prostate cancer with suppositories?
Yeah.
I said, well, what you do, you get a nice warm room. Turn the lights down a little bit.
Put a candle on.
Light a candle. Put on some jazz. Yeah. Wash your hands really good.
Well, it's getting hot in here, Tommy.
And then you get some coconut oil.
Yeah.
And then you apply the
But that's what you did.
Make it
though.
a joy.
Yeah.
Make it fun.
Yeah.
And but I quit laughing when I ended up getting rectal cancer because that's just where I was treating it. And so it was like, but I asked around and they said no, there was no correlation. It was just a separate incident.
Okay.
But now when I got rectal cancer, that was serious. And so now I treated that. And when I treated the rectal cancer, I treated the prostate at the same time.
Right.
In other words, I had radiation.
So you
And
are
I
doing the
had-
radiation.
I had radiation, I had chemo, and then I had the operation.
Yeah.
And then I got a new butthole.
Yeah.
Out
Wow.
of the
Yeah.
thing.
No, that's.
They
so,
moved it. Actually, it
Yeah.
was a rearrangement. They moved the butthole from the back to the front.
Jeez. Are you still using cannabis though to keep comfortable and such for that, or?
Oh, I never stopped.
Yeah.
I never stopped using. I use the oil. I smoke it. I eat gummy bears, and usually too many.
Yeah, that's legal in the States. That's not up here yet. I don't think
Yeah.
edibles are illegal in Canada. When it comes to cannabis and hemp products, and it's getting more and more popular now, especially on the medicinal side of things. How far do you think this can go? Like, you got sessions in the
Well-
States saying, "Oh, we're going to not put all this. We're not going to legalize it."
I've
but-
always said that cannabis is going to save the world.
Yeah.
I still believe it.
Yeah.
More so now than ever, because it's not just cannabis; it's the hemp products that you get out of the plant.
Okay.
We still haven't come up with a better paper.
No.
This hemp paper is
Yeah.
still the best quality paper in a time when you don't need paper.
Yeah.
But it's also hemp products can be a good building
They're good for everything, really.
block.
Yeah.
And it's good, made rope, it makes canvas, it makes clothes, and it's food. The plant
Yeah.
itself is food. And so I predicted that cannabis is going to save the world. I still do.
Yeah.
Hold by it.
When it comes to strain and what you like to use for cannabis, what's your favorite strain?
Anything given to me by anybody.
Yeah. Oh, if you're on stage and someone throws one up there, you'll take it back to the hotel.
It's just
or-
like, you know how they talk about bad weed?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
bad. You know what bad weed is? No weed. That's bad weed.
Or mixed with tobacco.
That's
gross.
bad weed. Now, if you got no weed
Yeah.
and someone comes along with some weed, that's good weed.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So,
So-
you don't have like a go-to strain that you're like, oh, I got to have this one tonight, or
I
anything like
usually
that?
do what everybody does. I smoke it and then I say, what was that? Or what is that? I don't
Yeah.
go,
Oh, okay.
I'm going to smoke some Kush or some OG or
That's neat that you say that though, because I found that I know people obviously that do use medicinal cannabis, and there is certain kinds that they use during the day and then certain kinds at night. But for Tommy Chong, it's like no, whatever's given to me kind of. thing.
whatever's by my side, whatever someone hands me, usually.
Now,
That's what it
Tommy,
is.
you're an activist, Shelby's husband. You're an actor, obviously a comedian. You've done lots of success.
Father of Ray Don Chong, and father
Thanks.
of Jill Brown Chong, father of Paris Chong,
yes, who we met here.
and father of Robbie Chong. All actors, all
And
successful.
Paris, he's your manager, is that correct? Or
He's my
not?
manager.
Yeah, that's cool.
He's my
man.
handler more than
Good-looking
anything.
guy like you too. Yeah,
Yeah.
nice guy. and
Well, he's
stuff.
very talented. I'm so lucky
Yeah.
that he's available.
So home life is good for you.
Oh,
Yeah. And where is home exactly?
So
You-
good.
I mean, you were born in Edmonton. You had some years in Calgary,
I'm
but
trying to forget about that part.
yeah.
No, I was born in Edmonton,
Okay.
and then I moved to Calgary. Lived in Calgary for 20 years, off and on, and then got deported to Vancouver.
Oh.
Literally.
Yeah. No, that's
we got
right.
kicked out of Calgary,
Calgary.
And we had to go to Vancouver for the winter of '58.
When did you decide to go down to the States anyway?
When we were in Vancouver,
Yeah.
it's our drive to the States, to
Yeah.
Seattle. So we would flip down to Seattle every chance we got. Go to the black clubs, go to the ghetto and listen to the real good music.
Yeah, the real good. And you were in a band yourself, which
and the
is really
jazz
cool.
and smoke some really good ganja down there.
Down in America.
At the time, though, there was pills, a lot of pills going around,
Yeah.
a lot of speed.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
that's what
that's
we
a
do.
Lemmy thing from
We would
Motorhead.
speed down there and speed back.
Now, your last movie you're in, Zootopia, won an Oscar.
Yes.
Your character, once again, you're naked. I'm surprised you're not naked right now, actually, for this interview.
I would be, except for my new bag.
Did you enjoy doing Zootopia?
Oh, so much fun.
Yeah.
I came right out of the hospital.
Oh,
to do
really?
that.
Oh, okay. And
I
right into like a studio where you were voicing for
Literally
them.
came from my son,
Yeah.
kind of helped me wobble out of the hospital, into a car, into the studio,
Unreal.
and then I did the voice.
Oh, that was. We watched the movie last week and it was splendid. Well, congrats that the movie got an Oscar. And of course for your other movies, the Cheech and Chong Phenomena. Also, your character as what was his name in that 70s
Leo.
show? Leo. Yes. Now, was Tommy Chong and Leo? Do you think of them as the same type of character?
They really wrote that part for
Yeah.
me. They didn't have a part
No.
written. They just said, we want you to be in the show.
Yeah.
And then once
That
I
was
got in the
fantastic.
show, yeah, if you watch the show, I had very little dialogue.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm getting at. Like, you know, and we're gonna get a little philosophical now. But with Tommy Chong, the character, Leo and such, do you ever think like those characters, I mean, of course, you know, I mean, they're very funny, you know, you gotta be smart to write that comedy for them and such, like you did with the Tommy Chong character. But do you ever think it kind of maybe helped the other side of things, the people that were like anti-cannabis going?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. That was my intent, really.
Oh, that was your intent.
My intent was to show, you know, the rough side of
Yeah.
the teenagers, you know, more or less, you know, the young kids, and the outcasts.
Right,
You know,
yeah,
the hippies at the time, or the Mexicans, or the, you know, the black guys, or, you know what I mean? I purposely made a point of making sure Cheech and I were in the best physical shape we could be in.
Yeah.
For that reason. I wanted to show dope smokers healthy and vibrant
yeah.
and full of life and playing music and you know, loving chicks and having a, you know what I mean? Like really not a escape, you know, the drugs that, you know,
Right.
because you know, I broke up with my girl and so I'm going to just sit
Yeah,
in
it
the
was just
room
like
and get
any- yeah.
high. You know what I mean? Nothing negative. Cheech and Chong and my character Leo, all that, always positive and
Yeah.
always with a sense of intelligence that sort of, you know, rose above all the other negative aspects
Did you ever,
of the character.
you know, and with the stigma of cannabis then, you know, do you think that there's still like that stereotype, that cliche with it?
It's
like
not stigma, it's more ignorance.
ignorance? Okay, like, yeah, great.
It's pure ignorance because anybody that has half a brain knows that cannabis is not what the racists would like you to
Yeah,
believe it is.
yeah.
You know,
Ignorance is
you're
more-
not gonna have weird-looking babies. You know,
Yeah.
you're not going to get hooked on heroin.
Yeah.
You know, in
yeah.
fact, the opposite.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I quit smoking because of cannabis.
Yeah.
I used to smoke cigarettes, and then I realized that if I just every time I felt like a cigarette, I'd light up a joint.
Yeah.
And next thing I
You
know,
still got the habit down, but not ingesting all
next
that
thing I
poison.
know, I don't have a cigarette habit.
Yeah, yeah.
I got a marijuana habit, but I can go without marijuana anytime I want.
Your website, chongschoice.us. Tell us a little bit about that.
Chong's Choice.
Oh, look at that. It's on the T-shirt.
Chong's Choice is more of a philosophy than it is a real business. Although we do sell the best.
Yeah.
Because we've learned over the years that if you're going to be the best, you got to smoke the best.
So do you give tips and stuff on there?
Yeah, what we do, we contact the best growers and we hook them up with the best dispensaries. And so, like just in, I guess it was Vegas, the Bee Gees were performing, the
Yeah,
one Bee
yeah,
Gee.
yeah.
And he was,
The main
no,
one.
it was in California, it was in Los Angeles. He loved Chong's Choice so much, he went back the next day. He bought $5,000 worth the first time and went back and bought another $5,000.
So really in the States, a dispensary is kind of like a store and you pick
Yeah.
like your favorite one. There's good
Yes.
and bad ones, they take it? And
Well,
you-
that's where it's civilization,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
In the civilized places of the world, we sell pot in stores.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
not
cool.
in the
Yeah.
alley.
Yeah. Well, we can get it medicinally up here at least, you know, it's over there.
Well, I love the medicinal approach. I
The
love
aspect's pretty amazing, isn't it?
You know, my philosophy is that all cannabis use is medicinal,
Yeah.
whether
yeah.
you want it to be or not, but
not.
it is.
It's got so many terpenes and different things.
Well,
and
because it's
activity.
healthy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
anything healthy should be called medicinal. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's healthy for you.
You love your social media. Hey Tommy Chong on Instagram, at Tommy Chong Twitter, and you know you're an activist. You're in movies and such. How do you like to use social media to get out and speak to
It's
us
very
fans?
tricky. Social media can be very tricky because you can really expose a side of you that
Yeah.
you know that people, well, like Donald Trump, for instance.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But
You get nervous talking about Donald Trump at all? Like
not
from
at
what
all.
happened before, like when
No,
you did your jail
love
term
the
and stuff?
Trump thing.
Yeah.
Trump is the Republicans' karma.
It's good for writing comedy, right?
Isn't it the best? And you know what? Trump's election was the worst for? You know who suffered the most?
Who suffered the most?
Gun shops.
Gun shops.
Gun shops. Gun sales, when Trump was elected, gun
Yeah.
sales went down.
Well, why is that then? I thought.
Because they weren't afraid
Oh.
that Hillary was going to come and take their guns.
Oh, right.
You see?
Well, maybe people already had all their guns.
Well, that's what I mean. With Trump in there, we don't need to worry.
Yeah.
And so gun sales went down. A lot of good things happened when because Trump got in.
And it kind of brings the cream to the crop of who these people are.
Well, what
right?
he's doing, he's vetting the American system of democracy.
Yeah.
Like he's putting it to the test. And so rather than it's a theory.
Yeah.
Now Trump is making America prove that there is freedom of religion.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
is freedom of speech. That we do have these freedom of
Yeah.
the press. And he's making everybody prove it.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah,
because
that's
it's happening,
awesome.
man.
Shelby Chong, your wife, she's
Yes.
she's on Twitter too. She follows me back. You don't. I really?
Well,
I'm just
she-
kidding. Just fucking.
She's more friendlier than I am.
We are wrapping up here. Now, this is really cool. And sorry, I'm going to read this. This is something that you put on Twitter about 5-6 weeks ago. And it says, I believe that marijuana is nature's way of communicating with humans. We must listen to what it is telling us. Can you elaborate on that? It's such a nice statement,
It's so true, isn't it?
Yeah.
When I smoke up, I get these epiphanies, and I write them down. I used to just write them in a book, but now I write them on Twitter.
Okay, yeah.
Because that's what it is.
You
See,
can come up with a
marijuana
Twitter book.
affects the brain.
Yeah.
It goes right to the brain, the receptors, all that,
Yeah.
right to the brain. And it enhances what you're thinking
Yeah.
or what mood you're in.
Yeah.
It enhances it. So if you're
So if you're
a
an
bank,
asshole.
say if you're a bank, if you're a bank
Bank
robber,
Yeah.
all of a sudden you can see how you're going to do the bank robbery much clearer. You know what I mean?
Right. It's not where I wanted to go.
Because it helps you focus.
Yeah,
See, it
yeah.
makes you focus.
It's very spiritual what you're doing and with that whole. What's next for Tommy Chong? In 2017, let's say. What's coming up?
Knighthood, maybe.
Yeah, why not, right?
Sir Thomas.
Or
I
Order
like
of
that.
Canada. That'd be nice.
I like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Get the
You haven't got it yet, the
Canadian-
Order of Canada? No? Trudeau hasn't given you the Order of Canada, or no?
Trudeau, I don't know. He has to get his French together. He's trying
sure.
hard though.
Tommy
No, I
Chong.
like Trudeau.
Yeah, good. No, a lot of
I
us
like
do.
Trump. I
Yeah.
like everybody, man. I'm a pothead.
And we learn from everyone too,
Yeah.
right? Tommy Chong, thank you so much for taking the time
My
with us with Natural Health Services. Hey Tommy Chong Instagram, @Tommy Chong is Twitter. You got chongschoice.us, and of course you can follow Natural Health Services @NetHealthServe on Twitter, naturalhealthservices.ca. Tommy Chong, on behalf of Natural Health Services, thank you so much for coming up here.
Thank you. I didn't hear a word you said, but thank you.
Okay.
anyway.
Well, it was a big thank you. Thank you.